Welcome to the heart of Europe, Berlin, a city known for its vibrant culture, rich history, and diverse population. Over the past few years, Berlin has seen a significant increase in its population. This growth has been fueled by a surge of expats, students, and professionals eager to experience all that this dynamic city has to offer. In the span of just 3 to 5 years, Berlin's population has grown exponentially. This influx of newcomers has reshaped the city's demographic landscape, adding to its already diverse mix of residents. However, this rapid population growth has not come without its challenges. One of the most pressing issues arising from this population boom is housing. While the city has made efforts to increase the number of apartments available, the demand for housing has outpaced the supply. This imbalance has made the task of finding an apartment in Berlin a daunting one, particularly for newcomers. The average time it takes to find a long-term apartment in Berlin can vary greatly. However, it's not uncommon for the search to take several months, as competition for apartments is fierce. This can be a stressful process, especially when combined with the pressures of relocating to a new city or country. In the face of these challenges, many have turned to alternative housing solutions, such as short-term apartments or shared apartments, also known as WGs, pronounced WG. These options can provide temporary relief, but they are not without their own set of challenges and drawbacks. With the city's population booming and housing becoming increasingly scarce, it's no wonder that finding an apartment in Berlin has become quite a task. So, you've decided to make Berlin your home, but where to start your apartment hunt? First things first, you need to understand the different types of accommodations available in Berlin. There are regular apartments, short-term apartments, and shared apartments, or as locals call them, WGs, pronounced WG. Regular apartments are your typical leases. They're perfect if you're planning a long-term stay and want a place to call your own. However, they often require a hefty deposit and may not come furnished. Short-term apartments, on the other hand, are like a breath of fresh air for those who value flexibility. They usually come furnished and don't require a long-term commitment. But remember, convenience comes at a price, and these apartments tend to be pricier than regular ones. And then, there are shared apartments, or WGs. These are great for those who love the buzz of co-living, plus they're often more affordable. But of course, you'll have to get used to sharing your living space. Now let's talk about the hunt. It can be challenging to find an apartment in Berlin, with scams being a real concern. Always verify the landlord's identity. Never pay the deposit before signing a contract, and never, ever transfer money to someone you haven't met in person. There are numerous resources to kickstart your hunt. We have provided the links to numerous websites and forums as they are a good starting point. Don't forget to tap into your network. Word of mouth can be surprisingly effective. Keep in mind, finding an apartment in Berlin isn't a sprint, it's a marathon. It might take longer than you initially expected, but don't lose heart. Just like that perfect cup of coffee at your favorite Berlin cafe, the ideal apartment requires patience and persistence. Remember, patience is key. The perfect apartment in Berlin might not be just around the corner, but it's out there waiting for you. Before you start your search for your potential home, you need to get the paperwork in order, a crucial step in securing your Berlin apartment. Now, this might sound daunting, but don't worry, we're here to guide you through this labyrinth. First up, we have the Schufa. Think of it as your financial trustworthiness card. It's a document that shows your credit history and any debts you might have. For landlords, it's an assurance that you can keep up with the rent. To get your Schufa, you can simply request it online from various providers, or even from your bank. Remember, it's best to have a clean Schufa, so pay your bills on time and keep your financial health in check. Next, we have the proof of income. This could be your salary slips from the last 3 months, or if you're self-employed, your tax returns. Again, this is to show the landlord that you have a steady income, and you won't default on your rent. So keep those pay slips and tax returns handy. Now let's talk about the Mietschuldenfreiheitsbescheinigung. Yes, it's quite a mouthful, but it's just a certificate from your last landlord saying you're free from any rental debts. This not only reassures your prospective landlord about your financial reliability, but also speaks volumes about your character as a tenant. So how do you prepare these documents? Well, it's simple. Keep a digital folder with all these documents and update them regularly. This way, when you find that dream apartment, you're ready to apply at a moment's notice. Also, remember to have copies of these documents, because landlords might want to keep them for their records. Navigating the paperwork might seem like a tedious task, but it's a vital part of the process. These documents are your ticket to securing that apartment, and the more organized and prepared you are, the better your chances. If you are a newcomer to Germany, you might not have most of these documents. In that case, starting with a WG shared apartment or short-term apartment while you gather your documents will be a good starting point. With your documents in order, you're one step closer to calling Berlin home. Finding an apartment in Berlin is a process, one that requires preparation and strategy. Let's talk about the importance of preparation. Before you even step foot into a potential new home, ensure you've done your homework. Research the area, understand the average rent prices, and familiarize yourself with the local amenities. This will not only give you a better understanding of what you're getting into, but also arm you with knowledge to negotiate if needed. Next, let's discuss apartment visits and interviews. Making a good impression is crucial. Remember, you're not just interviewing for the apartment. The landlord or property manager is also interviewing you. Dress smartly, arrive on time, and be polite. Show that you're serious, responsible, and ready to take on the commitment. Asking the right questions is equally important. Inquire about the property's maintenance, utility costs, and any potential issues. Don't be afraid to ask about the landlord's expectations too. Knowing these details up front can save you from unpleasant surprises down the line. Now, on to decision-making. The Berlin housing market moves fast, so be ready to make a decision quickly. If you find a place that ticks all your boxes, don't hesitate. Delaying could mean missing out on the perfect apartment. Property management companies, or Hausverwaltung, can be a valuable resource in your search. They handle multiple properties and can provide you with a list of available apartments that suit your needs. However, remember to do your due diligence and ensure the company is reputable. Lastly, don't underestimate the power of personal recommendations. Reach out to acquaintances, colleagues, or friends who live in Berlin. They may know of available apartments or can offer advice based on their experiences. With these tips in your arsenal, you're ready to tackle the Berlin housing market. Finding an apartment in Berlin may seem daunting, but with the right preparation and a dash of patience, it's a challenge you can conquer. Now, we'd love to hear from you. Have you gone through the process of finding an apartment in Berlin? Do you have any tips to share that we might have missed? Your experiences and insights can be a great help to others embarking on this journey. Remember, finding the right apartment may take time, and it might be challenging, but it's all part of the adventure of living in such a vibrant and dynamic city. Berlin is a city of possibilities, and your perfect apartment is just one of them. Happy hunting!